Can you imagine if we get Parsons? Like, can we even dip into that realm of like theories? Because, bro,
Yes, let's talk about that, okay? Because
bro,
there's other parts of this defense that I want to ask you about. But
yeah,
let's because people are going to want us to address it, so we're addressing it. Okay, here's the deal.
yeah,
Micah Parsons is one of my absolute favorite players in the league. I would take him. What I don't understand is why everyone wants to pay Micah Parsons and then they're so okay with trading away Byron Young. Why do they get Byron Young? If I'm giving them first round picks and paying $40 million, $50 million to sign him, why do I have to give up Byron Young? I don't think people get it. If they trade Micah Parsons to the Rams, it would be for picks. The Rams also keep this in mind, and it comes with the territory here. You would have to essentially, the Rams, they already have an idea of who they're going to pay. They just paid Kyron Williams.
yeah.
I believe he was worth the money, but they paid Kyron Williams. They're going to have to pay Cam Curl. They're going to have to pay Quentin Lake. They're going to have to pay Akello Witherspoon. There are guys in the secondary they'll have to pay, Kobe Durant. But then there are also other guys. You're going to have to pay Puka soon. You're going to have to pay Steve Avila, right? Unfortunately, Kobe Turner, all these guys, Jared Verse. You're going to have to save money for Jared Verse.
You better put a large stack to the side after what I just saw yesterday.
A lot of guys to pay. So that's why I look at it like I don't feel like there's a wrong answer here. Because the idea of wanting to go after Micah Parsons is like the Mets going after Juan Soto. You want to go after that type of player. You feel like he's a franchise guy. Those are the type of guys you pay for, all of that. But what I don't agree with is how often like people are just like, oh yeah, just shoo Byron Young. I love what you said about Byron Young because he is still a part of this and he's still a very good player. And is he Jared Verse? No. And is he Micah Parsons? No. But like you could still keep him. You wouldn't have to trade him away. You might not be able to pay him, afterwards. But like if you're all in on a Super Bowl, why do you have to give up Micah? You have to give up Byron Young and 2 first rounders. Right now, the Cowboys have zero leverage. Zero. Absolutely zero. I would not be shocked if they don't even get a first rounder for him. And hear me out.
Oh, yeah.
Because they might, but they're not getting 2. Because people need to understand Cowboys have no leverage. Micah Parsons has not shown any sign that he's going to come back without a deal. Any sign. He is so turned off. And I kept saying this. I said it last year. I said it the year prior. Man, I don't like the way the Cowboys, just as a football fan, I don't like the way they handle contracts. Micah Parsons should have already been taken care of. They're paying all these guys left and right. And it's like, I've met Jerry Jones before. Really nice guy, at least from my experience. I don't like the way he's handling it. As a football fan, I don't. But it could also benefit the Rams because I know they were in on Jalen Ramsey, but they weren't in on Jalen Ramsey because they needed Jalen Ramsey. They didn't feel like they did. They wanted Jalen Ramsey. Like he would have helped. He would have been an addition. Obviously, a little bit more likely of a trade than going out and getting a Micah Parsons, but you got 2 first-round picks. I think I would at least see what I can do there. I think I would, but this idea you have to get rid of, a Byron Young, I just don't subscribe to that. But what say you? What are your thoughts on that? And then the AD thing we could talk about afterwards because that was wild.
Oh my God. But listen, adding Parsons, like, I do think like this kind of locks up like a Super Bowl crack. Like you'll be able to crack Super Bowl guaranteed on defense. You wouldn't even have to have, many of like different rotations on that D line. Just send the demons. That's it. You know what I mean? And like to me, I feel like getting Byron Young in that deal and shipping him, like I do think we lose a little bit of chemistry. I think we lose a little bit of like just familiarity of the defense, like that is important, and I think, just shooing him away, like I think he's earned his keep of what he should be paid. You know what I mean? And like he is a very crucial piece to that D line. And I do think that, what it probably will take is those first rounds, but I don't want to give up the first rounds. I want to keep the first rounds because again, we're going to be really good. So we're not expecting like a high, like I hope our first round pick is at 31. Okay. I hope it's just sitting there at the bottom, whatever. And what Atlanta would do, they'll do. Who cares? But I do think like that's just currency to say, hey, we got two to move up here to get this piece or whatever. I don't want to touch that. Like I want 26 to be okay. Let's take a second shot at the Super Bowl and let's go back again with more different pieces of holes that we have. And I think shooing away Byron Young, that'll be part of 26 of filling his role now. We'll be starting again. You know what I mean? Like I like Josiah Stewart, but he's not as strong as a Byron Young. He's not as, really familiar with this defensive line in terms of chemistry. And they are literally tap dancing together. It's a song and dance out there. And it's like just complete understanding of like where to be and how to rush. Like, what I'm talking about, Jake. I'm talking to the fans that get real deep in the trenches of understanding what's going on. But like, I do think like, I could see why you would say Byron Young because you don't want to pay him. But we have the fourth most cap space next year.
All right, guys. So once again, just want to let you guys know that you can check out my new side project, The Lounge. I interview athletes, musicians, actors, actresses, all the nine. So definitely check it out over on the Lounge with Jake Ellenbogen channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy. In case you guys haven't noticed, I do have a Discord channel for my community on this channel. And if you want to be a part of it, it is free. The link is in the description below. You can sign up. This is basically a 24/7 Rams channel, and we are almost at 1,100 members. So if you want to be a part of it, just hit the link in the description below.